Hi, I'm Gaurav Vasisht, also known as Professor G. I am a teacher at Leapwaters, and today I'm going to talk about it's all skills, not talent. You must be wondering what he's talking about, not talent. So let me start with a story, all right? So I have a friend, a dear friend named Raja. So my friend Raja is a professional guitarist and a brilliant one at that. One day, after a magnificent performance, this is like years ago, I gave him what I thought was a compliment. Raja, I said, "You're so talented." He said thanks, he said thanks, but he says, "I'm not actually more talented than most people." And I couldn't understand. I said, "What's he talking about?" He says that I've just worked, this is Raja, I've just worked very, very hard to get where I am today. And that struck me. What I saw as a compliment, what was, I was thinking as a compliment was actually an insult. Raja didn't roll out of bed knowing how to play the guitar. He spent decades perfecting his craft, and he deserved all the recognition he could get for that hard work. This got me thinking. This got me really thinking that, this experience stayed with me when I thought of, anything about music and arts and all of those things that, we would normally showcase in a talent show. And then I broadened the spectrum. I started looking at other things where we look at talent, and then I noticed something very disturbing. I noticed a business trend. Companies no longer talked about employees and employee development, like we used to. They talked about talent. Instead of head of recruiting, which was the norm, we now have vice president of talent acquisition. Everybody's talking about talent acquisition. We talk about talent management and talent assessment, and we moan a lot about talent shortages now. All this while we're talking about talent, and talent. Is it? Now this is a problem, because talent isn't something that you can just have. It's either you have it or you don't have it, So I can't wave my magic wand and give you musical talent, or for, in that matter, mathematical talent, or any kind of talent, that we, talk about. So talent is inborn, guys. Talent is, when I'm going to be using the word talent to refer to employees, what actually I would be employing is that employee needs to have knowledge, skills, and abilities necessary to do the job from day one. This is how we end up with those crazy shortages, talent shortages that we call them. So Peter Capelli, he's a professor of management in the University of Pennsylvania, I don't know if he's a professor still, but he shared a story, of a company that had 29,000 applicants for a single engineering position. 29,000 guys. People who thought they were qualified for the job applied, and yet their applicant tracking system determines that not one of those 29,000 people was qualified to do this job. Now, we all know that these criteria were chosen by a human who was searching for talent, and that is absolutely and completely ridiculous. I could probably find 3 or 4 people in my building. Now, this is where I stay. I could find them in my building who could do that exact job with just a little bit of training. So, talent, or what is it? So, this is very frustrating, and this needs to be tackled from a career perspective, because it also means that we're not investing in ourselves. If we believe that doing music or high-level math, requires talent, and we don't have that natural talent, we won't even try. We'll say, I could do this, never. I could never do that, and if that kind of feeling comes in, it's downwards from there, guys. So I've got a secret for you, I've got a secret that you probably could learn everything, This isn't to say that natural talent and ability don't play roles. Of course they do, But Mozart wrote his first minuet at the age 5. That's some serious talent. But look at Lin-Manuel Miranda. A full year he took to write a single song for his musical Hamilton. Well, I don't doubt that he had, he has natural talent and he did a lot of work, But, there's the difference. So you must be wondering, what's he talking about? What's the solution? What does Professor G want to give us, We need to stop using the word talent when we actually mean skills. Now that is the magic word, skills, okay? So let's figure it out now. Because nobody comes out of the womb knowing how to do something very difficult these days, or cloud computing for that matter, When we want to hire people, we are going to hire people with skills. Well, what's the difference, you would say, between talent and skills? Skills are something you gain through hard work and dedication. Could I learn to paint? Of course I could. Could I learn to ride a unicycle? Of course I could learn how to ride anything, actually. That difficult topic I talked about, cloud computing, of course I could learn that, Could I learn how to run the marathon? Well, I could. But it's doubtful, guys, to understand the difference. It's very doubtful that I'll ever win an Olympic gold medal at running the marathon, because I do lack natural talent in that area. But yes, I could learn how to run the marathon, definitely with hard work, dedication and training. When we are hiring, though, we need not look at, only at what people, already know, what they already know how to do, that's not important. Can they learn it? How? That's important. Can they learn it? Now, how will I tell if someone can learn something? So, how will I know that if someone can learn something? Well, they have learned hard things in the past. That is a question, You can ask yourself those things. Have they done something similar? Have they been able to, showcase that they've learned something in the past? Any skill in the past? Do they have a history, of recovering from failure? Somebody who has failed, somebody that has failed, and then succeeded, has demonstrated that they have the grit and the guts necessary to do hard things. We shouldn't just look for someone that has never failed, but always succeeded. Hey, that's what society does, right? That's society's goal. They only look at people who've succeeded. But what about failure? Failure teaches you, guys. Failure teaches you in ways which is not possible to learn when you only succeed. We all want to hire that person with that perfect resume. But there was this study, Google was looking at great employees, and they did this huge study. And, imagine what? Perfect grades were not at the top of that list. What was on top of that list of a great employee? It was skills like listening, critical thinking, problem solving. Imagine that now, when we remove the word talent from the equation, it's easy to say that just about anybody can learn just about anything with hard work and dedication. We don't have to worry whether we are a math people or a language people. We just work at what we want. Talent isn't really what matters, guys. It's hard work and that wonderful desire to learn. So the next time you're tempted to say to someone, wow, you're so talented, try this, try this tip. Wow, you must have put a tremendous amount of work into that. Because that's the truth. That's the truth. It's all skills, none.